So why pick drama? Well, if you have a passion for drama and you want to develop key skills such as confidence, creativity, communication, and compassion, all of which will help you in any line of work you choose in the future. So what will you be learning? Well, you'll be doing a mix of both scripted and devised pieces where we explore new styles of performance, including physical theatre, crime drama, and epic theatre. How will you learn? Well, predominantly it will be practical. However, we will be doing some theory work, similar to what we do in Key Stage 3 at the moment, that will support your performances. I look forward to maybe teaching you in Year 9.
Why should you choose this subject? You should choose this subject if you are passionate about sport, have an interest in how the body works, and want to learn how to improve health, fitness, and your sporting ability. However, this subject is not just for students who already excel in PE. It is for all students who enjoy sport and just want a greater understanding of the importance of sport and a healthy lifestyle. What will you learn? You will learn about the muscular and skeletal systems, types of fitness and how to train them. You will also learn about mental health and well-being, the importance of PE and an active lifestyle, and how to maintain a balanced diet. This will include creating your own training program and analysing a food diary. This learning will lead to improvements in your own sporting performance. How will you learn? Topics will be taught in both theoretical, classroom-based lessons and practical lessons, with a variety of tasks linking to sporting examples. You will complete a workbook throughout the year, which will be supported by a variety of practical lessons.
Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about the option or specialism art and design, which is pretty much a bit of everything. If you choose art and design, you'll have the opportunity to work in a huge variety of different materials. Some of those materials will include doing some photography, so drawing with coloured pencils, drawing with lead pencils, textiles, a bit of ceramics, which is working with clay, some ICT, working on the computer, bit of design using mixed materials, and it's basically a chance to sample everything all in one specialism. You'll learn about a range of different artists and you will have the opportunity to think really creatively, think outside the box. There'll be some homework that you do have to complete, which will enable you to be independent, which is a requirement of the course. But the art department expects you to work hard, but we're going to be working hard with you at the same time. But it is a fun environment. It teaches you lots of life skills. If you like to think differently and creatively, art and design maybe is the course for you. What we would suggest is if you want to pop up to the department and have a look at some different types of artwork, we will also be giving you some opportunity to look at the different specialisms within the lesson time, and staff are available sometimes if you make a mini appointment with us to go through one-to-one if you have any questions. But we will be going through all of the specialisms during lesson times. We're going to put a lesson time in with the entire time so that you can ask any questions that you've got. But art and design, in a nutshell, is a bit of everything. Have any questions? Come and speak to one of us. If you choose textiles, you're going to have the opportunity to work with materials. Some of the work that you might be looking to produce would be weaving, hand embroidery, machine embroidery, felt making, some costume design, costume makeup, and loads of other things. You're going to be learning about colour mixing and the properties of colour. You might be looking at how colour affects mood. You might be looking at properties of the colour wheel, complementary colours, how colour is used in industry, in the fashion industry. You'll learn loads of things that you perhaps don't already know, so it's going to be quite fun and different and new. This is not option or a chance to experiment and see how new materials work and the properties of different materials. Lots of students that take textiles at the moment literally love felt making because it's a little bit messy, and it's fun. It's obviously going to be hard work. There will be some work that you have to do in your own time to create a level of independence, which is required in all of the art courses. But I'm sure that if you choose textiles, you will find it very varied and very different. If you want to know more about textile design, we will be going over everything that you need to know during lessons. If you would like to see some additional examples of current textile work at GCSE or A-level to get excited about it, then we can organise that. But we will be spending an entire lesson to make sure that students understand the difference between art and design, textiles and 3D. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email one of the art staff. And in a nutshell, textiles is about colour, it's about pattern and it's about fun. Hi everybody, I'm going to run through what the subject Specialism 3D art is. In a nutshell, it is working with different materials such as wire, plastic, cardboard, ceramics, which is working in clay. It could be working on different scales. It's all about building. Much less of the 3D art option is about drawing, so you do not have to be good at drawing to take 3D art. It is mostly about building on different scales. We will show you absolutely everything. It's very unlikely that you will have worked in this way before. It's thinking about different structures. It's looking at different techniques, it's looking at perfecting different techniques, and everything that you will learn will be modelled for you. It's a very new and exciting specialism. We haven't taught it before, and it is very, very different to art and design, which is mostly 2D art. This is all about 3D and thinking about positive and negative space and how materials react with one another. There'll be lots of experimentation and it will be fun. As well as the fun aspect, we do expect you to do some work in your own time. Maybe it could be looking at different sculptors or artists or different practitioners that have created sculptures in the environment. But you will have fun doing this. You might get messy using plaster and different bits and bobs in the art department, but it is brand new. We will give you an idea of the sorts of sculptures that you will be making, and we will do this through lesson time. And we will go through absolutely everything that you can expect to learn in all three specialisms, and we will dedicate an entire lesson to do this. If you have any other questions or you want to come and see one of us in the art department about any of the specialisms, drop us an email and hopefully we will be able to meet up with you one-to-one if you need additional support or want to ask any other questions. Okay, but in a nutshell, 3D art is about building, it's about structures, and it's about experimentation.
Okay, so my name is Mrs. Nichols and I'm just going to talk through with you some of the information on this slide about design and technology. So using the headings that were on the PowerPoint, I'm going to go through and explain why and what and how you will learn in design and technology. So starting off with why should you choose design and technology? Firstly, if you've enjoyed your D&T lessons so far, if you enjoyed making your maze in year 7 or your light in year 8, that would be a good reason. If you enjoy practical lessons, and you're interested in designing and making your own products, it might be that you're considering a possible career in some sort of design or manufacturing job or career. And at the moment, there's a wide variety of careers you could choose from, and they're very, very much in demand at the moment. So it's a very good career to go into off the back of design and technology. So thinking about what you're going to learn, first of all, you'll be sort of developing your drawing skills and learning how to generate sort of creative ideas. And then you've got to learn how to convert those ideas, so those drawings you've got on a piece of paper, actually turning them into a product. And learning how to shape or join materials to enable you to create those designs. There's also lots of ICT work. We use computers for drawing as well as for manufacturing. So some of the parts might be cut on the laser cutter or on the 3D printer. So we need to use the computers to be able to manufacture those parts. There'll also be some theory which we'll learn, which is going to be sort of behind that designing and making. So learning about the materials that you'll be using, learning about where they come from, learning about their properties. You can't design a product that you want to be waterproof if you don't know what materials are waterproof and which materials would be the right ones to use. You have to learn about those materials to be able to make successful products. Also, really importantly, we'll be looking at how those materials impact the environment. So that's obviously a big thing at the moment. Lastly, how will you learn? So not every lesson will be a practical lesson. There'll be some lessons where you're doing some research or you're doing some designing, or we might be talking about the theory behind what we're doing, so just saying about looking at the materials or the environmental impact. But the majority of your time will be practical, but not all of it. So lastly, I just want to say, if you've got any questions about selecting D&T as an option next year in Year 9, please either come and see me or Mr. Jenkinson down in the workshops, or you are welcome to drop me an email, or your parents could drop me an email, and we're more than happy to answer any questions. So if you need anything else, to know anything else, please do get in touch. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Walden and I'm going to be talking about photography. There are 3 headings on the page. Why should you choose photography? What will you learn? And how will you learn? There are a number of things explained to you via the text on the page, but there are also a number of things that I'm going to try to cover that I couldn't fit within the text there, and so hopefully I'll be able to answer all of your questions. So choosing photography means that you'll be working in a different way to possibly the other subjects that you are studying in Year 9. So you're used to exploring different subjects through humanities, maths, science, English, etc. And you have had a small taste of the creative possibilities through your art lessons up to this point. Photography is a little bit different. So although eventually art and photography cover the same assessment objectives and things like that in the later part of your educational structure, there are differences between the subjects, and it might be that you have explored art up to this point and you love working creatively, but you feel that you want to explore art in a different way. So photography is a discipline within art and design. It is something that will enable you to continue that creative journey, but this will be done through digital imagery. Okay, so electing to explore the photography specialism means that you will still work in a creative way, but it will all be done through digital imagery. We do not have a darkroom, so you will not be taking photographs and then processing them in a darkroom. It's all digital. Okay. So photography will help you learn a range of skills throughout the year, and you will explore a variety of materials and processes during photo shoots and via the editing process. Now, we use Photoshop at HGSS, and in order for you to be able to continue with your studies outside of the school setting, we also use a program called Photopea or Photopea, and that's an online program. It is free. It requires no login details. You do not have to sign up to anything. It's really user-friendly and it is very similar to Photoshop. To assist independent learning, I've also created a range of videos that are on the Photography eStream platform at the school, where students can follow those step-by-step guides and create work more independently. So it is a fantastic program that we use. What will you learn? So as part of the photography offer, we look at a range of things. So you will be exploring the photographic elements to support you in composing photographs and experimenting with different techniques and processes. And we also do spend a lot of time working on literacy and communication skills. Throughout the course, you are going to be exploring different photographers, and you are going to have to read imagery. I know that's a strange concept when it doesn't require words, but you will read imagery, you will look at the work, and you will be able to come to certain conclusions, and you will be able to interpret images in different ways. Okay, so we do cover a lot of literacy skills. There's probably a lot more writing in photography than people first envisage and imagine, but you have to be able to explain the purpose of your images. what you planned, why you've done that, what it means to you, because photography is very subjective and we can't assume people are going to understand what we planned in the first instance. Sometimes it takes a little bit of explanation. All right, but I will teach you how to do that in a very kind of purposeful and succinct way. So it's to the point, there's no waffling. So it doesn't, photography kind of doesn't, writing about photography doesn't mean vast amounts of writing. It just needs to be purposeful and relevant. Okay, and then how will you learn? So we are going to be exploring digital sketchbooks in year 9 in September. So you'll be creating PowerPoint presentations, which means you can carry on with that at home for homeworks and things like that. And you will be able to develop your skills and to express that digitally. So it's digital imaging and then digital presentation as well. So I will teach you how to do that in the most inspiring way possible. One thing to note at the end there, you will need access to some form of a camera for this subject. So that can be a phone camera, a compact camera, a bridge camera, a digital SLR. It doesn't have to be yours as long as you've had permission to use it and that you can access it whenever we need to access those cameras. All right, photo shoots are conducted outside of school so that you all have different things in your photographs. Some are done in school, but the majority of them will be done outside of school in your own time as homeworks in order to make sure that people's work looks different from each other and the work's more interesting and engaging. All right, so hopefully I've explained everything to you and it all makes sense, but please feel free to ask me any questions. If you need to, come and find me and I'm sure I'll be able to assist you. Thanks for listening.